I want to tell you a little bit about what's happening from the Canadian perspective. We've definitely heard from Dr. Durson lots of information about some of the initiatives that are happening within the Ministry of National Defence, as well as the crossover. We'll hear more from Mary Beth on the next panel. Since 2012 in Canada, we've really been working hard to generate and mobilize a coordinated response to military, veteran, and family health research. So we do this through our institute, the Canadian Institute for Military and Veteran Health Research, which works very closely with both the ministries that I noted, but is also separate from. So we really do represent 43 university partners within Canada, as well as 9 global affiliates, so some of whom are here. So we've got Anglia Ruskin, we've got University of Southern California, and we've got University of Alabama. So we do try to make this kind of international connectivity as well, so that we can all kind of generate research collaboratively in a way that we all get there faster. There's only so much resource available for us as researchers, and it makes sense that we can look at what is shareable, what is generalizable. It's very useful. Our mission at CIMVR, the Canadian Institute, is to enhance the lives of military personnel, veterans, and their families by harnessing the national and increasingly the international capacity for research. So we were lucky in the fall to have John come as one of our keynotes at our forum. So we do a conference every fall. And last year, when we think about family, when we think about how much the role of family within the research community has come to the fore, what we've seen is a really big shift, even over the past 5 years. So when we look at how often the research is focusing on the families, both for the military and for the veteran experience, we see that it's increased from virtually non-existent when our forum started, and our name, our title doesn't even have families in it, but our vision does, and our mission. But we went from almost nothing to almost 20% of our research last year at our forum was on families. It's kind of shocking. It's a huge shift. And so, you know, what is the issue with now? Why do we need to understand that now? So we're at a point kind of in the development of the field that we can start to look beyond the issues of the serving member or the veteran, and we can understand the complexity of the health system and the family unit and how these things interact with one another. In the fall, we started looking at some of this comparison. We started looking at policy. We heard from Dr. Castro how definitions drive what we do, and I absolutely agree. So we looked at comparing policy definitions of what constitutes a military family, and when available, a veteran family. So the concept of veteran family actually isn't well developed in policy, and it's also not developed well in research. So what it means to be a veteran family, and what that transition to civilian life might look like, we don't know a lot about from a research perspective. What we do know from the family perspective is that the research tends to represent a very nuclear, traditional family, and that may not map onto everybody's experience, and it also may impact whose voices are heard in the research, whose reality is represented. So we have to be mindful of that as well. It's not just spouses, it's not just children. For many, unpartnered serving personnel who become injured, they return home to their parents who become caregivers. And very often, the resource and supports, the awareness may not be there. So, and that seems to be in many countries, certainly not just our own. So certainly what we have seen is a shift within our own veteran affairs as well to really emphasize an understanding, a priority around what is the issues around family. And we've seen a big change in the program that is targeted towards the family members of veterans, separate from the family, from the actual veteran himself or herself. So we've seen that increase, and just recently we see new benefits coming online for the caregivers. We see enhanced access to veteran family support. It used to be that the military family resource centers offered support while people were in uniform, and once they left service, those opportunities for families were no longer there. So now if you're medically releasing, certainly those things become more available and at all 32 military family resource centers. We also see an increased drive to understand this through research. And so Veteran Affairs has funded research external to its network, and I've been privileged to be part of some of the teams that have been working on the knowledge generation. And so recently, we completed a study that looked at the family health and well-being of veterans who have mental health problems in the context of transition. So we're looking at a lot of different variables now that come together for us to explore in some complexities. And what I can share from our findings is that families can provide information on the veteran's mental health that the veteran may not be providing. So the veteran, when asked how you're doing, may say, good, fine, no issues here, look elsewhere, to the provider. The lived experience at home may look dramatically different. I encourage you, to the extent possible, to identify and explore opportunities to invite families into the assessment and treatment of veterans with mental health issues. It's not always straightforward. Often the veteran is the point of access to the family. It's not an easy statement to fulfill, but it is something that it's the art of the possible. How can we actually access the families? Because families can really become true allies in the care and recovery of veterans, especially those in the study that we just completed, which were heavy on the heavy representation of those with moderate to severe post-traumatic stress disorder. So that perception, that experience of social support is pretty critical to veterans doing well, getting better in the context of a diagnosis like PTSD. So we need to make sure that families are involved, but that also families have a voice. I'd also like to raise the reality that families may actually have their own mental health issues related to the veteran's PTSD. So we see now that the family intersects with health in 3 different ways: to inform the assessment and treatment for the veteran, to support the care, but also they have their own needs. Most of the spouses within the study we completed reported significant clinical levels of anxiety and depression. They reported high levels of burnout, of stress, of frustration with the complexities of accessing all the different services that actually are available to them. We saw that the symptoms and the symptom management associated with PTSD really became this kind of central organizing piece for the family, and that all the family members orbited around this in an effort to manage it and to keep the veterans safe. There was a constant report of walking on eggshells, of holding one's breath, of trying to anticipate what would happen and how to offset a reaction from the veteran. And spouses are really struggling to find the time and energy internally when they do have actual time to take the time for themselves to look after their own mental health and well-being. Children's mental health and well-being was also reported to be affected with increased emotional and behavioral issues. Coping and adaptation was difficult. People reported a lot of fear. Fear of screwing it up. Fear that the veteran would be suicidal and would be successful in his efforts. So people are really feeling the pressure, the responsibility. So what we do know is that the mental health of the family and the mental health of the veteran go together. We've heard this several times, several speakers said this today. So understanding how to support one to impact the other is very important. Certainly the transition process can create additional complexities and strains. Bottom line, planning for veterans should include the needs of the family. Thank you.